What's it like to date you? We never think about this, right? We're like, no, the most important is the relationship with my mom and family. No, it's you. You're stuck with you the rest of your life. And guess what? That relationship is going to dictate every other relationship. Whether it's romantic, friendship, you name it, the relationship with yourself dictates the relationship you have with the world. And it's important to do this audit. How do you like hanging out with yourself? For most people, it's horrible. You want to do the test? Go home after this event, before going to bed. Don't turn on the music, don't turn on the TV, don't look at your phone, and just sit with yourself in silence 10 minutes. You can even look at yourself in the mirror for 10 minutes and see what happens. It's probably not going to be very pleasant. The first thing most people do when they get home is they immediately turn on the television. Like distraction, music, cooking, I got to be doing something, can't be with myself. If you're quiet with yourself, that little voice starts seeping in. Especially if you look at yourself in the mirror. You're sitting there looking at yourself in the mirror. Put on a little weight, didn't we? Where did that come from? Oh, getting old. Not that attractive, are you? Hey, remember that horrible experience when you were in high school? Oh, it's sort of like this horrible friend. Like, hey, remember this horrible thing? Remember that person who judged you? Remember that thing you did, that mistake you made? Oh, it's this horrible, and this self-attack. You should be taking more action. You're quite lazy. You're procrastinating too much. You're not good looking. You're a disappointment. You disappointed your parents. You should do better. You should be doing more. You should be more social. You should be more successful. You should be smarter. It's this very toxic relationship we have. Now, what do? We'd rather ignore that and then try to compensate by, filling our lives with other people. Like maybe that relationship will fill it. No, you got to start with you. What's it like to date you? Are you kind to yourself? Are you rude to yourself? Do you get in fights with yourself? Is there a lot of drama with yourself? What's that inner voice like? Do you ever do things that are loving towards yourself? Acts of kindness towards yourself? What's it like to date you? You must work on yourself. Until you develop a healthy relationship with you, you will not be able to do so with others. Okay, you must fill your own cup, and you must reach a point where you feel complete. And this goes against mainstream advice, which is, as you were previously asking, find someone who completes you. You know what, people? There is such a thing as a soulmate, and there's one out there for you. When you were born, you were a star, and that star got split in two. And you arrived here, and your other half is somewhere out there in the world. And the most beautiful thing in the world, true love, is when you find the other half of that star, and you're finally reunited, and the relationship is beaming with light and love and wonder. And you're like, my soulmate. But then there's also the worries, what if my soulmate's in another country? How will I find my soulmates with all the people in the world? Right? How will I ever live just being a half? How will I ever be whole? What if I settle for the wrong person and never find my soulmate? Screw that. Okay? There is no other person who will ever complete you. Screw this you complete me mentality. Complete yourself. Don't attach your self-worth to someone else. It's no different than attaching your self-worth to money. Looking for someone to complete you is like someone thinking, you know what, when I make millions, I'll finally be good enough. Or approval. When I have all these people approving of me, I'll finally be good enough. It's no different. What is love? It's when two complete people come together and there's a certain synergy that happens. Not two halves that come together. If it's two halves, you will not experience love, you will experience attachment. You will experience craving, you will experience need. And this is what most of society confuses with love. Most people have never experienced love, they only experience need. Obsession, desperation. As soon as they're away from their partner, they're replaying, like, oh, my partner, I need my partner. Oh, I gotta get my partner attracted. Oh, I talk to my partner. It's like this compulsive need. It's like their drug. And guess what? If that is what your relationship is built on, it will by default be filled with manipulation. Manipulation, bribes, trying to get the other person to do what you want. Why? Because you don't want to lose that person. If you found your half and you're finally complete, Do you want to lose half of you? No. And it won't even be consciously, but unconsciously, you're going to try to find ways to keep that person there. And they're going to do the same. It won't be love, it'll be manipulation and attachment. That's what a relationship is when you come at it from a place of being incomplete, when you come at it from a place of desperation. And we're conditioned by this too. We see it in the movies, in TV shows, it's all this attachment and craving, but that is toxic. Let it sink in. Attachment is toxic. Attaching your self-worth to another person is toxic, and vice versa. You are complete.